Coming out of high school, Harrison West was the #1 safety in the nation, but his Oregon coach made him switch to middle linebacker in his sophomore season. Harrison West and the Oregon Ducks would go on to win the Rose Bowl against Ohio State, but he would later transfer the team he just beat and go on to become the #1 middle linebacker in the country and a projected top 10 pick. After a heartbreaking loss to the Wisconsin Badgers in the Big Ten championship game, Harrison West would elect to declare for the draft after foregoing his bowl game. With recent news of Isaiah Simmons moving back to defensive back, the Cardinals told me if I fell to number 10 that they would take me, and that's exactly what happened, and Harrison West is headed to Arizona. Harrison West has put on 20 pounds and even grew an inch since the last time he measured in college, and he is looking like one of the biggest middle linebackers in the league as he is going to dominate in the run game for this new defense. Heading into our first game of the season after a great rookie camp and great offseason, we're going to be playing the #1 offense in the league in the Kansas City Chiefs, and Harrison West is going to have to stand up. Although Harrison West is taking on the best quarterback in the NFL in his game #1, Patrick Mahomes, he wants to show that he belongs in this league, is going to be one of the best defensive players in the league, and he's going to dominate in this game 1. Starting off on defense, we're doing everything we can, and we got sent on a blitz early on, and we are going to get an interception, but Harrison West skimmed Patrick Mahomes' arm and got a roughing the passer call, and this would later get called back here. Trying to make up for his early mistakes, Harrison West and the Cardinals defense are starting off hot as we get back-to-back sacks, and then on a 3rd and 26, Harrison West is going to sniff out a screen and get his first stop on this Kansas City defense. The entire defense would continue to ball the entire game as we get another sack out of Patrick Mahomes, but this time it would lead to a fumble, and it looks like we're going to hold them to 0 points in the half. We wouldn't see much more action until there was 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, but Harrison West would get a ball thrown right at him from Patrick Mahomes, and his first career interception comes off the best quarterback in the NFL, and Harrison West is feeling himself early in this game. With our offense continuing to struggle, they only scored on a good field position touchdown. We're going to look to get another turnover right here as Patrick Mahomes would throw it right at our defender, and we would catch our second one of the game. This is about as good as a debut can get. It wasn't only interceptions that Harrison West was getting this game, as he was getting huge hit sticks on receivers and running backs coming across the middle, as he would do so on 2 different plays right here. Our defense would continue to fluster the reigning MVP as Patrick Mahomes would throw it as he gets hit on an immediate blitz, and he's going to throw a pick 6, and the Cardinals are going to take a 20-point lead. No one saw the Cardinals upsetting the Chiefs, and Harrison West is already making a huge impact, having 2 turnovers, and he's going to force his 3rd one of the game right here as we hit stick another wide receiver over the middle. We're going to cause our first fumble of the season. With this being only his first game of the year, he's looking to prove himself as one of the hardest hitters in the league as he was doing it all game long as wide receivers came over the middle, and there were 3 plays in a row right here where he did it, hitting wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. It didn't matter as Harrison West was going to dominate them. Later in the game, the Kansas City offense is starting to heat up, and Patrick Mahomes would find Travis Kelce, but Harrison West would land another hit and force his 2nd fumble of the game. That would be his 4th turnover force, and we would go on to win against the Kansas City Chiefs. After an outstanding rookie performance, Harrison West would end around 9 tackles and also have 2 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles. I don't know if it gets much better than this. Despite an amazing performance in week 1, Harrison West had to lock back in as we were taking on the Las Vegas Raiders, who have a very solid offense. After beating Patrick Mahomes last week, we have 2 stars we have to worry about this week in Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams, and Harrison West is starting off hot with multiple big plays to start this game off early and a lot of hit stick. The Raiders offense was playing amazing this game as they were hitting throws over the middle, and Harrison West was still punishing these guys, but they kept on coming back with huge plays, and they're already in our territory. But luckily, our defense is bend but don't break, and Jimmy Garoppolo would make a major mistake just chucking it up in the corner of the end zone, and we would have our first turnover of the game. Our offense would punish them off the turnover and later score a touchdown, but the Raiders offense is looking very good once again, and Hunter Renfrow would dominate us this drive as he would make a catch, we would miss another tackle, and he would go in for the first touchdown we've let up this year. Our offenses continue to perform really well this game, and we're looking to back that up on defense as Jimmy Garoppolo is going to throw another brainless throw, and we're going to get a pick 6, and this defense just keeps on forcing turnover on turnover. Harrison West wouldn't see much action in this game until later in the 3rd quarter where we would get a hit stick on Josh Jacobs, one of the best running backs in the league, and force our 5th turnover of the season, and this game is over. After another domination on defense, the Cardinals would go 2-0 on the season, and this season is looking much better than the last. With everybody projecting the Cardinals to only get 5 wins in the offseason, we are looking to get our 3rd win of the season in week 3 right here and remain undefeated as we are looking at one of the best defenses in the league. Our offense would continue to remain hot and get a quick 7 to start this game off, so our defense is looking to stop and build upon a lead, but the Rams offense is looking hot to start this game off. The Rams picked up DeAndre Hopkins, and they also still do have Cooper Kupp, so this is an elite offense, and to hold them to 3 points early on feels like an absolute success, and this defense is just on fire right now to start this year. Our offense would quickly turn the ball over, and Harrison West and the Cardinals defense were back against the wall, but we would force a fumble, our 6th turnover of the year, on the young running back Kyren Williams. Our offense kept putting us in bad field position all game long as we were once again inside of our own 30-yard line, and they are creeping on the end zone, and we got to do everything we can to keep them from scoring here, as they would now get inside the 15. On a crucial 3rd down, Zaven Collins would get to the quarterback and get a sack, and we would force this Rams offense to settle for another 3 points, and this is a very defensive game so far. To start off the second half, we were looking to get a stop and get our offense another chance at the end zone, and we would hit stick Tyler Higbee and force a fumble, but luckily his wide receiver would retrieve it. Even after the fumble, the Rams offense continued to play really well as we were getting kicked out and playing our worst game of football yet, and we would miss a chance on this interception, but would luckily get the tackle. Our coach kept on preaching bend but don't break, and we would continue to do so as we would get another stop on a 3rd and 3 right here and force our 3rd field goal of the game. We need some help from our offense. Kyler Murray and the offense would once again turn the ball over and give them great field position, and they would continue to dot us up. Not picking up that 1st down, they would have to go for it on 3rd and inches, and we would get a great tackle and force a 4th and 1 where Harrison West would hit stick the running back behind the line, and we have ourselves a turnover. Despite giving our offense another chance, they would turn the ball over once again, and the Rams offense would go on to chew this game on out. Only allowing 9 points and losing a game is always rough, but we want to continue to get better and maybe make that 6 points, 7 points. We can definitely build off of this game. Now falling to 2 and 1, we're going to be playing a team that is currently undefeated in the Carolina Panthers that is led by a rookie quarterback in Bryce Young. Harrison West is looking to continue leading the league in turnovers as he goes into week 4 here. Harrison West always wanted to look like a big hitter out here, but in this game he would continue to struggle as he would miss multiple big hits and allow the Carolina Panthers offense to keep on moving. The Carolina offense is looking real good right now as Bryce Young would hit Miles Sanders underneath, and he would break a tackle and go all the way inside of our 10-yard line. This would be our worst drive yet in the NFL, and it would continue to be bad as we would miss another tackle as Miles Sanders just walks in the end zone. Our offense would continue to struggle as they gave the Carolina offense the ball back at the 8-yard line, and on 3rd and goal, luckily Bryce Young would just dump it into the ground and they would settle for 3, but we need to get some points on the board. With this game not going our way so much on the defensive side of the ball, we were looking to get a stop after our offense finally scored a touchdown, and it's looking good so far as we were getting hit sticks all over the place and Harrison West was heating up. Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers offense wouldn't really pose a threat until there was 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and they are looking to tie the game with no timeouts. And then on this 3rd and 8, we would hit stick the running back, but he would fall forward for the 1st down. Later on Carolina's money drive, Bryce Young would hit Hayden Hurst, but we would hit stick him and force our 7th turnover of the season, and this one would go on to win us the game. Now taking out a 3-0 team and forcing another turnover to win this game, Harrison West truly believes he is one of the best defensive players in the league and not just only rookies. Fast forwarding later in the season, the Cardinals would find themselves at 5-8 as we continued to struggle throughout the season, and we would be taking on a big matchup where we would play the 6-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and if we lose this one, we are eliminated. Knowing we are competing with a team that is also fighting for a wild card spot, Harrison West is locked in and loaded for this game. Despite being 5-8, Harrison West and the Cardinals defense is looking to give their best effort yet as we would force a 3rd and 9 throw to the tight end, and it would be a deflection, and we already have a first punt. Nothing much would happen this game as we were sitting with a 14-point lead and 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. It looks like we have an easy win, but with enough time in the pocket, Baker Mayfield would find a wide open wide receiver, and somehow they have momentum. Our defense would later hold the Buccaneers offense to a 4th and 10, but Baker Mayfield would find a wide open Mike Evans, and they would score with 1 minute left. Our offense would not be able to close this game out, and Baker Mayfield would chuck the ball up with a minute remaining, and Mike Evans would come down with it, and he is off to the races, and this is an awful collapse at the end of the game. In overtime, our offense would not score the ball, so we could not allow a touchdown or a field goal here, and we would lose this game, and they are continuing to move the ball on us, and we cannot stop them at all, as now they would find themselves inside of our 35. We are getting real desperate on defense here as Baker Mayfield would drop back, and he would throw it to his right side where he would find Mike Evans and get them inside the 5-yard line, and then later connect with Mike Evans on a slant, and that would be the game. After a brutal loss to the Buccaneers, they would go on to win out, and they would make the playoffs themselves, and the Cardinals would find themselves out the playoffs with Harrison West's first year. Despite the bad news, Harrison West would win the Defensive Rookie of the Year award, and that would be a big achievement, while also coming in 3rd place for the all-around Defensive Player of the Year. This was a great rookie season, and he's going to build off of it next year. With big goals of making the playoffs and turning into a Defensive Player of the Year next year, make sure to have those noties and hit that like button, as we're going to have so much more RTGs on this channel.